Welcome back to Cvtv News. David, I hear there's a 28th House District race shaping up. Not a horse race, but a house race.
Well, it has similarities to a horse race. And it looks like there's a pretty lively race shaping up in the 28th House District. The 28th House District covers southern Stafford and parts of the city of Fredericksburg. The seat is currently held by Delegate Bob Thomas, a Republican who won his seat in 2017, defeating his Democratic opponent by 75 votes. It was close.
That's close.
In many respects, this year is shaping up to be a repeat of that same election. Bob Thomas, the incumbent, has announced his intention to seek the GOP nomination. However, he has a challenger for the Republican nomination, one of his opponents in the 2017 GOP primary. Paul Mildy, a former Stafford County supervisor, wants a rematch. The Republican primary will be on June 4th. Now, on the other side, Thomas's Democratic opponent in the 2017 general election, the fellow who lost by 75 votes, the Reverend Joshua Cole, has also announced his intention to run for the seat. Currently, Cole has no opponent for the Democratic nomination. This is considered a swing district, and the race is expected to be lively.
Well, speaking of lively, I've got news on a craft beer festival.
All right.
Are you a craft beer aficionado, or do you just want to enjoy some music, food, and fun?
All four.
Then the Fredericksburg Craft Beer Festival is something you ought to put on your list. It's at the Fredericksburg Fairgrounds on Saturday, March 30th. The gates open at 11 a.m., so come early and stay late to enjoy all day. And it has something to offer. There will be craft brewers from all over the region sampling some of their award-winning beers. They will be pouring some of your favorites, as well as a sneak peek into what will be on tap for 2019. Homebrew sampling will be provided by the FBI. No, not the FBI. It's the Fredericksburg Beer Insiders.
Freeze, FBI.
Right. And the Stafford Brewers Club. Sit down with them and learn how to brew your own beer at home. For those of you who enjoy a glass of wine or whiskey, there will also have a select number of Virginia wineries and distilleries sampling their award-winning beverages as well. Live muzik will be on the Stafford.
Stafford.
Stafford!
The guys who sell cars.
The car one, not Stafford, but Stafford, the car-selling guys of Fredericksburg, on their main stage.
There's a theme, I think, which I'm a little frightened of today. We are talking beer and cigarettes and whiskey. Well, a lot of people don't know that cigarette smuggling is a serious problem, and arrests in our area aren't uncommon. Criminals buy cigarettes locally, where they're cheaper. Virginia has very low cigarette taxes, and then sell them in the Northeast, particularly New York City, where cigarette taxes are considerably higher. Last Tuesday, a New York man was arrested on a smuggling charge after a Spotsylvania detective caught him outside a county convenience store loading a large amount of cigarettes into his truck. Fredericksburg Sheriff's Captain Liz Scott said Detective First Sergeant Murdoch Woodward was patrolling the parking lot of the Wawa at 4527 Plank Road.
I know where that is.
Yes, I know exactly. That was about 5 p.m. when he noticed a man placing about 5 cartons of cigarettes into his trunk. Woodward noticed that there were other bags of cigarettes in the trunk as well. Scott said that because investigators are aware that people come to Virginia to purchase cigarettes for resale in New York and other states for large profits, Woodward conducted a traffic stop on the vehicle a short time later. A subsequent search of the vehicle turned up, get this, 232 cartons of cigarettes that are valued, and this is one of the things where you should be sitting down, at $27,840.
Wow.
He also had some other nuts and nice things in the car. Oxycodone, marijuana, and $15,550 in cash were also recovered. I think he'll be staying in Virginia for a while.
So the sheriff probably realized, or the police officer realized, that it wasn't just a really bad habit that he needed, an addiction he needed to break. It was truly something criminal.
Yeah, with 232 cartons, you probably have more than just a chain smoker.
That's not your fair share of cigarette. All right, George, what do you have for us in sports today?
Thanks, guys. George Kearns here for Cvtv Sports. In NHL news, the Washington Capitals are running right with the New York Islanders for first place with a record of 43-24 and 97 points. They lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning 5-4 in overtime this week. In NBA news, the Washington Wizards are 30-42 in fourth place in the Metro Division, still a couple of games back from making the playoffs. In Major League Baseball, opening day is around the corner for the Baltimore Orioles and the Washington Nationals. Meanwhile, baseball has begun overseas with the Seattle Mariners beating Oakland 5-4 in 12 innings in China, where Ichiro Suzuki got cheers from everyone. In NFL news, the Cincinnati Bengals have let go of linebacker Vontaze Burfict. If you recall, years ago, he got suspended for his hit on wide receiver Antonio Brown when he came across the middle. And well, now once enemies, they are teammates, as Vontaze is an Oakland Raider now. How will Antonio and Vontaze coexist on the same team? Antonio and Vontaze both say they have talked about it and it's time to move on. Should be interesting come football season in 2019. Also, Tampa Bay traded quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick to the Miami Dolphins. The LA Rams had picked up quarterback Blake Bortles from Jacksonville to back up quarterback Jared Goff. In NASCAR news, Kyle Busch celebrated his 200th victory this past weekend at Auto Club Speedway, as he has won the past 2 races and seems to be on a roll. In golf news, Rory McIlroy won this past weekend at TPC Sawgrass and is ranked 4th in the world in golf. Everyone will be gearing up for the Masters in April. In NCAA men's basketball, March Madness is here, and I hope everybody has their brackets done. Who will be this year's Cinderella? The number 1 seeds are Duke in the East, Gonzaga in the West, Virginia in the South, and North Carolina in the Midwest. Everybody will be chasing Duke now that Zion is back. The ACC tournament was nice. Zion scored 81 points in 3 games, most ever by a freshman in the ACC. We could see a Duke-North Carolina championship. We will see as they have some epic battles this year. Virginia opens up with Gardner-Webb, winners of the Big South Division. VCU will play Central Florida. Maryland will face Belmont, and they beat them 79-77. Virginia Tech will open up with St. Louis. Should be a real good tournament. I hope not too many people's brackets are broken. In NCAA women's basketball, the number 1 seeds are Baylor, Mississippi State, Notre Dame, and Louisville. The big question is, why is UConn a number 2 seed? They say it was strength of schedule. Well, good luck to everyone in the tournament and to everyone's brackets too. I'm George KERNS for Cvtv Sports, and that's a look at sports. Back to you guys.
Well, we want to thank you for being with us here on Cvtv News. We've had a good time with you, and we're always glad that you invite us into your home.
And we know you have a choice for local news, so thanks again for choosing Cvtv News.
Have a good week.